Hey kids, it's the Mist and Fly here, hope you're well. Now you find me out the way of Buckinghamshire once again on another one of these routes from my the latest book I've got, the latest Bikers Britain book, which is called Bikers Britain The Tours, written by Simon Weir and published by the AA. I'm in a route out of that book called Wells Loop, so you find me in Somerset today, and although I'm going to ride the Wells Loop, albeit in the opposite direction to the way the book suggests it, I'm mainly down here to do it because part of that route is Cheddar Gorge, and Cheddar Gorge seems to be one of those places that all bikers in the UK should go to at some point. So I have been there as a tourist in my car in the dim and distant past, but I've never ridden through it in my bike, so stick around, or on my bike. So stick around, stay tuned, and I'll show you what Cheddar Gorge and the Wells Loop has in store. So the road I'm on at the moment is the A38 from Taunton to Bridgewater, and it basically runs parallel with the M5. It just gets you off the motorway, and it's been a nice mix of countryside, little bits of dual carriageway, and then little towns like this. It's an absolutely glorious spring stroke early summer day, so really looking forward to this trip. Just coming to Bridgewater now. Which is a little town on the A38 en route to Weston-super-Mare, which I'm hoping I'm going to get a glimpse of the sea at. Certainly a busy little place. Funny little place. It reminds me of a northern town, not somewhere in the south. Just these sort of almost tenements built down here. Certainly doesn't look to be a prosperous town, that's for sure. Right, not unhappy to have left Bridgewater. En route now out the other end to Weston-super-Mare. Let's find the seaside. Well, for those of you keeping up, this is just coming into Burnham-on-Sea now. Well, this is all very nice. One or two bikes. Hello. Leg out job. God, look at that lot. Hello. Excellent. Okay, I'm just coming to Weston-super-Mare now, and if you wonder why I'm so excited about seeing the beaches, because when you live in Buckinghamshire, which is pretty much in the centre of Great Britain, you don't get to see the sea very often, so it's a big deal to landlubbers like me. Wow. Look at that. Quite a view. Looks like you could actually park on the beach there. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get the stand down, but it's too good an opportunity to miss. Right, let's see how the GS takes the sand. Who says I don't take the GS off-road? Oh, this is a lot harder than it looks. Let's get on this harder stuff. Excellent fun. Right, photograph time. Well, that was all rather fun, I must say. Concentrate now as I come off this sand, which wasn't so fun. What a great little spot. So Weston-super-Mare, famous for various things. Apparently Isambard Kingdom Brunel lived here during part of his life, for about 10 years. And in the late 1880s, this is also the spot that the first ever transatlantic telegraph cable came ashore. It also had an association with Guglielmo Marconi, who sent some radio signals here. It's quite a historic place for various reasons. And then more recently, perhaps infamously, this pier up here, known as the Grand Pier, I think it was in 2008, caught fire, at least the end of it did, and destroyed the pavilion on the end. So that new white building you might be able to see at the end of the pier, that's the brand new pavilion that was built after the fire. Great little spot, just a typical small British seaside town. Lovely on a day like this. Apparently the locals call it Weston-super-Mare because the tide goes out so far. And there's these massive mud flats that are apparently quite dangerous to walk on. Okay, next stop, Cheddar Gorge. Why is it everywhere these days has to have a big wheel? So these gentle hills that I'm riding through on the way to Cheddar Gorge are the Mendips. And the gorge itself is a limestone gorge. We think it was made by meltwaters from an ice age about 1.2 million years ago. All I've got to do now is find it. Well, how lovely is this? This is more like it. What a beautiful day to be out on the English countryside. So I'm not too far from the gorge now, I think. Cheddar itself, of course, famous for the cheese of the same name. It's only 2.5 miles down here. I have to get through the gorge, I think, to get there. So we shall see. Now, of course, it's a very popular tourist spot. So I imagine it's going to be quite riddled with traffic, so it's not going to be a case of scything through like you could have came early in the morning, I assume. But anyway, sometimes you have to take what you can get. But looking forward to checking out the gorge anyway. Okay, just coming up to the gorge now through the village of Cheddar. And the other thing, of course, that Cheddar's famous for, not just the cheese, not just the gorge, but also the caves. There's caves in the limestone here, and the reason why they're famous is that some time back the oldest complete skeleton found in Britain was found in one of these caves, 9,000 years old. I think it's known as Cheddar Man, and as I say, it's the oldest fully complete human skeleton found. Okay, so this is the start of the gorge, and it is indeed gorgeous. So I'll shut up and just ride through. This is a pretty unique landscape in the UK. Beautiful. Hello, couldn't nod, concentrating too much. good is this? Well worth the trip out just to do this. Wait, thank you. What a fabulous road. A few loose rocks to look out for on the corners. Yeah, what great fun. I think I'll turn around and do that again. Go for take two. Right, I feel a photo stop coming on. Nice. Made it. Excellent. Well, definitely not a place to go blatting through unless you know the road very well indeed. There's an awful lot of rock to hit. But it's spectacular nonetheless. Reminds me of some of the passes you get in the Alps. And in an odd way, it also reminds me a bit of Mulholland in the US, near LA, which I rode this time last year. Just because it's popular with bikers, I think. And since I just stopped and took a few photographs, and loads of bikers passed me as I was waiting there, ripping around, so obviously knew their stuff. Great fun. So if you're a biker and you're in Blighty and you've not done Cheddar Gorge, I thoroughly recommend you come and do it. Mini tea shops, this is what we like. So that was Cheddar Gorge, very much a highlight of this trip on the Wells Loop. And next up, it's actually going to be Wells itself. Hopefully we might get a glimpse of the cathedral. And then on to Glastonbury. Incredible how you can be 1 minute in that amazing gorge, and then within a mile or so you're out here in these basically flatlands again. What a great country in terms of the diverse nature of its countryside. Ubiquitous white van man once again spoiling the fun, as happens so many occasions in Blighty. And no sooner do I get rid of one white van, pick up another. What a beautiful little village this is. Didn't catch its name, but certainly very picturesque. Ooh, get that a bit quick. Tremendous view. The roads don't come much narrower than this, but very pleasant it is too. Thank you, sir. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this Wells loop. I've bypassed Wells. I'm almost in Glastonbury. Just up ahead of me is Glastonbury Tor. You can maybe be able to see it in a minute behind this tree on top of the hill. Glastonbury, of course, world famous because the festival that's held here every year, and infamous in Britain, of course, because the weather often doesn't play ball and it just becomes a quagmire there. But certainly not that problem here today in Glastonbury. It's absolutely beautiful. Anyway, I hope you... Oh, there's a good view of the Tor. I hope you've enjoyed that little trip with me down to the seaside and then across to Cheddar Gorge, one of Britain's favourite biking locations. Okay, I look forward to speaking to you next time. Until then, this has been the Messenden Flyer. Cheerio.